Okay, we're live. You need to scoot over just
I'm like
a little
super
bit.
on the side here. There we go.
Yeah, so, and my stupid face is blocking the logo behind us. Well, that doesn't matter. We are live. Welcome, everyone. We are live on a Thursday, which is a bit of a change of pace. But we've been gone for a while from the streams. For those of you just joining us.
See, look, people already noticed. Jens is on the other side.
Exactly,
this
yes.
time. I told you they will notice.
My name is Jens. I'm your Jens Erik. I'm your community manager. I'm joined by Natascha, our director of PR and community, aka the community mom.
Community mom,
as we like to call her.
Like to call her.
Yes,
to call me.
And yeah, it is a new year. It is some new streaming setup thing. You're gonna get to see more of that just in a few minutes. Still same old blathering me, not being able to say things in a proper way, but hopefully that will change down the line.
And we're still very.
We're on this screen,
like,
we are,
very red.
but on that screen we're okay, I think,
so.
and like on that screen by the camera there.
We
I
need
think we're
makeup artists to come in and like, powder us off every now and then. Like,
yeah, we might. So anyway, hello. It is February. We took January off from streaming. We were still working on the game, as you might have noticed. We released a bunch of patches and a bunch of Testlive stuff, and but we figured we should take a bit of a break from the streams to sort of rethink our setup, rethink our schedule,
generally improve the quality, and how we're doing it, how we approach it,
rethink like the overlay and a bunch of other stuff. So we have like chat commands that you can use now, at least if you're watching us on Twitch. So you, for example, can type in !uptime and they will tell you how long the stream has been running, for example.
Look like this, and now open your mouth, like scream, like don't scream, but like.
And I'll look like the logo.
You're like a live version of the Funcom logo.
I have to look down like that because it looks down. Anyway, it does kind of look like me because I have the backwards hair.
Yeah, you have like the fancy hair.
Yes, thank you for interrupting me.
Sorry.
All right, we've added in a bunch of timer stuff that's probably going to come up in chat eventually as people are chatting and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's been good. So starting from today, this week, we are going to be streaming every single week, which is kind of
several times per week too,
which is because we wanted to do more streams. We want to do more stuff with you guys, the community. And so starting from this week, we already have Andy and Nicole over in the US office streaming on Wednesdays. Wednesday is going to be like the Durham office stream days, so they're going to be doing Age of Conan. I almost said Agents of Conan. That's wrong.
Conan.
Age of Conan and Secret World Legends, and then eventually other stuff as that studio starts to get stuff online. Anarchy Online, for example. Thursdays will be Oslo days, which is me and Natascha, where there will be Conan Exiles streams. We will do Mutant Year Zero streams. We will also do Conan Unconquered streams eventually, as that
basically everything that comes out of the Oslo area.
Yeah, like everything the Oslo office is making and working on, and also stuff that we are publishing for other developers. I'm actually gonna. Sorry about this. This is super warm.
It's warm in here.
And both of us are sitting with like mugs of tea, so it's.
Also, I am wearing double wool stuff because I'm commuting in the morning and it's so cold. So I'm freezing my French butt off. So now I'm super warm though. So.
I am wearing a Desert Bus for Hope T-shirt, which is my third one, I think. Yeah. Because I like watching Desert Bus for Hope. It's a good charity and I like donating to them, so I buy their t-shirts. Solos Viator, thank you so much for following us on Twitch. So yeah, and on Fridays are going to be our, I like to call it the Funcom Fun Time Variety Hour. It's a work in progress. It might not be called that, but Fridays are basically sort of wild card days. It is days where we sit down and we can play something that's been sort of in the recent news. It can be something that's themed to like a day or a month or whatever. It can be games that we want to play co-op with people over in the US. It can be games that we want to play with people from the community. So we're gonna that's the general vibe. And I think also Nicole has something planned for Tuesdays, which is sort of like an art stream where they paint along to Bob Ross episodes,
developer type
which I think,
stream, which is super fun. I think you guys are gonna like that.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be really cool. And yeah, in case people are wondering who is in the Twitch chat right now typing away, that is Nicole from the Durham office. Thank you so much to Nicole for doing the good work of being a chat moderator. Is that it? I think that's it. So yeah, that is like our streaming setup for the time being. Of course, things might change. This is stuff that we're still sort of working out as we go along. But Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays are going to be like our main streaming days. And so it's going to be, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this all, you know, works out, and how you respond to it, and what we can do, and yeah, all the fun stuff that we can do together. I'm absolutely looking forward to it.
Same here.
So
excited.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking this way, that's actually because we have an additional screen for the chat. So it's a bit confusing because this is so not. I'm looking out of the picture. I'm really irritated by that. Actually, we need to change that.
We probably need to change that too.
Yeah. So I'm actually looking at this. I'm actually looking at that chat thing. So.
But that's only Twitch. That's all of the chats.
Oh shit!
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want to miss anyone. I have to look this way, which is so confusing. I'm not trying to be rude, chat. It's just because I kind of have to look at
We can see things need to be worked out. Anyway, we can probably just move that screen over there and just we can figure it out.
But
yes,
we have exciting stuff for Conan Exiles.
Yes, before I get to that, I just want to say one final thing.
Excuse me.
If you look at our Twitch page right now, you should see a window underneath the streaming screen where it basically says which days we're streaming on and at what time we're streaming, which I think I should have set up correctly for when the US is streaming and when we're streaming. So I think if you're in Europe on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, it's at 7 in the evening, and then for Thursdays and Fridays, it's at 5. So just follow that calendar and you should be pretty good. And of course, we will announce all the streams that we're going to do in advance on all the Twitter channels that are, or on the Facebook channels that are supposed to be used for that stuff. So, all right.
So Zion, sorry, I'm trying to like work between the two screens. I'm really not trying to do it. I feel horrible looking this way.
And yeah, of course, we're also streaming this to Mixer, and we're also streaming this to YouTube. I noticed some confusion from some of our YouTube audience in the screen over there, so I just wanted to point that out. We are streaming to 3 different platforms, but at the moment, Streamlabs only allows for one platform to be connected, and that is Twitch, for reasons that we have chosen, but we'll see if we're gonna be able to work some stuff out. We're probably gonna do that actually.
Someone wanted us to bring Oivin to the stream. I'm not sure we have enough height in this room to actually bring Oivin here. Like we will try next time.
I would love to have him on stream to talk about how, like, his work as a environmental artist and a world artist, because he does incredibly stellar work. He is very camera shy, unfortunately, like a lot of people.
A lot of our developers are.
But we'll try. Maybe we'll put a bag over his head.
Oh wow! I'm not sure that's not healthy. Let's not like try to suffocate him while having a developer stream.
No, a paper bag with like holes cut out so he can see through them.
And a little smile.
Yeah, and actually, let's do that, because that way we can have him on stream and he doesn't need to show his face.
Chat, promise.
We'll look into it. Okay. All right, but let's talk about Conan Exiles for a bit. So I'm just gonna have some tea first.
He's very flexible. I was just talking about.
He's a very flexible man. He does yoga. So.
Jesus. Wow, that's some long levers to do yoga with.
Yes. If you've been following Conan Exiles for the past month, especially if you've been following the Testlive updates that we've been doing, you'll notice a bunch of changes have been coming to the game and are coming to the game. Chief among which is that we are currently in a rebalancing effort for the game. And essentially what we're doing is that we are trying to make the game more difficult, especially the end game content, because one of the feedbacks that we have been, well, some of the feedback that we've been getting from players is that the beginning of the game is pretty good, the middle is pretty good, but then they get to the end game content and they can just waltz through, essentially. They can run into New Asagarth, they can just steal all the steel they want at level 20, and then they can.
I mean, it's not just making it more harder end game, it's the whole progression has been kind of smoothed out as well.
Yes.
So it's more interesting as you level up as well. So the challenges are hopefully better balanced overall, but specifically also, so we have like our maxed out players who keep saying it's kind of boring, we don't really know what to do. So there is new content and more challenging content for you guys to explore.
So that includes making monsters more dangerous. A lot of them have been getting more HP. A lot of them have started to do a lot more damage against players. I don't have the full list, but that's gonna. A lot of that is already on the Testlive patches, on the Testlive stuff, and so and of course the loot tables have been adjusted accordingly as well. So like more dangerous creatures will give you better, more rewarding loot. Some of the stuff that we're specifically doing for undead creatures is to make them more threatening. They don't take knockback damage anymore. You can't bleed them. You can't poison them, which is obvious. Like, how would you bleed a skeleton or a zombie? Or, well, they might have blood. I don't know.
It's kind of more...
They don't bleed to death. It's
kind of more the D&D approach, the proper D&D approach.
Yeah.
Like...
And then, of course, once you reach higher level undead creatures, they will start doing corruption damage. That includes the undead dragon, which you can still fight. It's now sitting... It's not moving around anymore, it's sitting still because of some performance stuff. There's also a ton of really good performance changes and performance fixes on the Testlive build, which you can also get access to. You go to, just go to your Steam library, and then you should have, underneath Conan Exiles, it should says Conan Exiles Testlive branch. Just download it and then play it.
Which would help us a ton, by the way, with feedback. We know that not everyone wants to play on Testlive, which is completely understandable too, because obviously you want to focus on your actual base where you don't lose time or you feel like you don't really gain anything out of it. But it's really fun because it gives you the opportunity to check out new features, new mechanics, the balance changes, and it's really an opportunity for you to be involved in the development as well, because we do really listen to your feedback that you give us on Testlive, specifically balancing wise. We already did the change, I think, was that like that we just recently put down again. The Drex skeleton had like a little bit too many hit points and stuff, and we got that feedback from you guys, and we already changed that again. So we really are very thankful, and we're listening to your feedback too. I mean, it's important to us.
Yes. Those of you in Twitch chat might have noticed that a person named Rob the Swede is currently in Twitch chat. That is one of our developers.
Hello, Rob.
Hey, Robert. He is one of the people in charge
He's the one.
of this whole rebalancing. So if I say anything wrong, he can correct me. Yeah. And he can also add additional info. Just don't add him too much, because he's probably gonna...
Yeah, he's probably gonna be like drowned under.
But yeah, Robert is a good guy. We like Robert.
He's fantastic.
He is very, very good. We would love to have him. We would love to have him on stream someday. He would love to be on stream as well. He has told us as much, but he has 2 dogs that he needs to take care of. Yeah. So there are some there's some timing issues.
There's some scheduling issues and priorities, which we understand.
We will get to that at least. Yes. What's next on the list?
I mean, I can address a few things that have been brought up in chat that I see. Like, a lot of you are like exploits, fix exploits, and things like that. So, one thing is that a lot of you think that exploit hunters doesn't actually work, which is not the case. It's more about the fact that we have to make sure we can assign the proper people to actually look at those exploits. And we actually do have right now quite a strong focus on looking at all those different exploits that you have been reporting to us, that you have been talking to Ignazi about as well on the forums. So thank you very much. We do really receive and we do look at those emails that you're sending through exploit hunters. And right now, as I said, there is a specific focus on fixing like a batch of exploits together. And hopefully those are going to go to Testlive relatively soon as well.
Yes.
I mean, probably not for the patch that's gonna come from Testlive to live, but after that, hopefully. So we are very aware. We are aware those are annoying. We are aware.
I mean, it's annoying to us as well, because we want players to be on an even footing, and then players
play
exploiting
the game like it's
like it's intended. Yes.
Yeah. So rest assured, we are aware. And also, if we remove like posts on the forums that are about exploits, it's not because we want to like we're not looking at them or so. It's just we obviously don't want everyone to know about them and then completely destroy the game. And it doesn't really pressure us or like it's not. It's kind of like it doesn't help us fixing it faster if you do it that way. So it's basically in most cases we know about it and we are trying to address it too.
Essentially, I was just looking at things anyway. But yeah, like our main current focus is critical bugs and issues reported by the community, and then like underneath the umbrella term issues, critical issues, that would of course be exploits as well, because like if you're not having fun, then we're not having fun. Essentially, we would like you guys to have fun. Anything else?
Someone mentioned snakes, but we get to snakes later.
We'll mention some snakes.
There will be some snakes.
there are snakes in the game. There are more snakes.
Someone's talking about how freaky snakes are. They like sneak up on you and stuff. Like I think that specific person will be interested in the thing that we're gonna mention later. So
also another thing that keeps getting mentioned, which it's always getting mentioned, and you can probably see that right there. You probably see that too. Is the matter of sorcery. And yes, we know that Joel once talked about it on a YouTube video, saying that sorcery is the thing that we're going to talk about, work on next. And we went through a design process for it, but right now it is not seeing any active development. Like I said before, our current main focus is critical bugs and issues.
Basically to strengthen the base game,
core of the
making
game.
sure like the purge and all the things that you guys think is fun, hopefully, like the building system, like improve on those, plus still adding a little bit of content. But sorcery is of course a completely new system, a completely new mechanic, and it asks for a completely new code edition.
Yes.
So as soon as we do have more information on what's happening there, we will absolutely know.
Yes. So that is the current state of sorcery. It is not seeing any active development right now. Personally, myself,
Brian will be sad. Someone just mentioned, oh sorry, dude, it's
yes,
Brian
we know Brian will be sad. He's been posting about this on the forums for a week now.
Sorry, Brian.
Sorry, Brian. But yeah, like once we have news to share, we will of course share more. But right now, it is not being worked on, and we know that. I know that sucks, and I don't like being the bearer of bad news. But unfortunately, that is.
Also, we want to be honest with you guys, too,
yes,
like as much as we can, or like share as much information as we can. Of course,
absolutely.
We are honest.
Shall we proceed?
With you?
All right. So I have on my list. I've written new creature features, like we mentioned. There are more snakes now. If you go to the oasis, for example, in the desert, there will be more snakes.
Oh, someone says we're kind of low.
Oh, okay.
Microphone, we can put the microphone closer.
Let me just turn this up a bit and maybe move it a little closer, unless it goes into the camera. Hopefully that works well. I don't know. It should, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Right. We've added more snakes to the desert area in the game, especially around the oasis. And I think we've also added some like
lizards. We added lizards.
That too. Yes, desert salamanders in the desert. You might also see some snake purges at some point.
Yeah, so there is like a lot of changes to the purges on Testlive, as you might or might not know. Besides the fact that
here it is, snakes.
Yes,
snakes,
that's
right
the reason I mentioned it. Besides the fact that purges have been improved and changed a little bit mechanically and should work way better and way more consistently. There's also quite a lot of new types of purges, which I think is quite exciting.
Yes, we are adding in purges where Vanir hunters will start attacking you, Jebel Sog disciples, Yetis, especially the Black Yeti, can spawn as a purge boss. We're going to show you that a little later. Alchemist purges, which is a thing. I'm guessing that they're going to run in with a bunch. They're going to run in with a bunch of orbs and just blow everything up.
That's ugly.
Crocodile purges, rock nose purges, and also we're adding in shorter versions of the purges with like fewer waves, essentially. So like instead of getting like a 5-wave purge, you might get a 2-wave or a 3-wave.
Like scorpions, you will like
with scorpions, for example,
might attack
or
you
snakes.
as well. Like
I'm sorry, I have a thing in my eye.
So this is going to be. I think it's going to be fun to have like all different kind of things attack you depending on which area
once everything is working as it's intended, of course. And a lot of that stuff is on Testlive still, and more things are going to be added to Testlive down the line. So keep your eyes peeled, and you know, keep circulating the links, I guess, to Testlive to see how you can download it.
Again, if you willing to help us test, give us input. Give us input.
Yes.
English is hard today.
Yeah.
If you want to give us input on Testlive, please do so. We're very thankful for any kind of feedback that you have for us.
I think we're gonna jump into
armor on purchase, please. They actually do have armor on Testlive. They do.
That is on Testlive.
Some people were really disappointed about that because they're like, "No, we don't have any naked purchase anymore." Like, well, sorry. Sorry.
I mean,
we're trying to
if
make
you wanted to keep the naked purges, then you should have told us.
We try to make as many people as we can happy. So
yeah, okay. I think we're going to jump into the game a bit because I want to talk about some of the mini bosses and like lieutenant versions that we have of regular creatures. So I'm going to push this button.
Say my name. That's actually something we talked about at the very beginning. Adding more end games so people will keep playing it. That's exactly what we're doing. So we'll probably can show you some of those stuff.
And as you can see, I'm pretty proud of this because I made it a bit. We have a new stream overlay, which I think is really, really pretty. There's no more like unused real estate everywhere.
Unused real estate.
Yeah, because we had the fat thing on the thing and the thing in the bottom.
I am so low down though. Why is that? Is your chair higher?
No, it's not. I'm a tall person.
You have, yeah, man.
I'm also sitting closer to the camera. I think.
I look so tiny.
I think I might be sitting closer to the camera. Right, so we're gonna cheat a lot because it is what we do. We are developers, after all.
I feel like I need to get a pillow, man.
I mean, maybe. You need to get like a booster seat. And I think that comic still exists, but I remember Jeffrey Detroit made a fan comic thing of me where I have like a stack of like phone books and Joel is sitting on the floor, so it looks like he's so much shorter than I am.
Yeah.
And then Nicole is like a giant woman who, I don't know, it's a weird thing. Anyway.
You have your own fan comics. Awesome.
I have my own fan comics. It's really weird.
It's really cool.
I'm sorry, but it's kind of weird. I don't hate it. By all means, it is weird.
That's right. I'm feeling like so. There we go. I'm doing yoga on the chair right now, so everyone knows. I'm sitting.
You done now?
Yoga. Go ahead. Okay.
Anyway. We have some really cool mini bosses that I really enjoy. So they will look different than some of the regular versions of enemies that you fight, and of course they will have better loot. Some will have cooler skin textures, and a lot of this is already on Testlive.
And they're a bit harder to fight.
And they will be harder to fight. Like for example, I think the Sabertooth looks really good, and of course it attacked me immediately. Let's see, I'm gonna cloak up. And it has these lovely glowing eyes and this lovely like white texture.
Fancy.
Someone bit his tail off.
And then a stubble tail.
Yeah, poor
What
bastard.
happened?
I'm just gonna kill it. Go away.
Oh no.
I'm gonna see if I can get these guys to be passive when I summon them in. And so there we go, passive.
Yeah.
And so the idea is to create more of a challenge and have these sort of not necessarily roam around, but like you might just stumble onto them.
Little surprises as well, so not everything. Like going forward, one of the focus is to make the world more interesting and have like more surprises for you guys. There's even more things coming, so you won't just really know what to expect, and there will be like things that happen randomly, which we think is pretty cool. He looks beautiful though.
Oh yeah.
That pattern.
It is definitely a he. I can tell.
It's a he.
In case anyone,
he's strutting.
He is, he's very much a he. So I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to kill it again. And yeah, I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it was. So basically, like a lot of the like normal enemies that you would fight, they will have these like mini boss versions of themselves. So it can be anything from a rocknose to a Sabertooth. Tigers, wolves, the shalebacks, for example. A nice red shaleback with glowing eyes. You might run into that in the river area, for example, and then it might crush you to death because they like to crush you.
It's like kind of a random chance to spawn.
Yes.
With normal spawns. Within normal spawns.
The idea is to make them not as difficult as like a world boss, which are giant HP sponges, but to sort of give you something that offers a bit of a challenge. Some additional loot, some like extra goodies that you can take with you.
Yeah.
But
something in between.
It won't necessarily exhaust you and your party. And like you can still go out and face the world bosses, they will still be there. And I think we also talked about having wandering world bosses at one point.
But maybe... we have more on that.
Watch this space. Anyway.
There will be RNG. I mean, you won't know where exactly. It's basically in any normal spawn with shalebacks, for example. You will have a chance that one of these special shalebacks will spawn, and any other spawn as well.
Yeah, and I think also someone
just like the type of
someone asked about the monster generals. It is because our creature artist is a man of detail, and he definitely needs to add that stuff. Shout out to Vebjorn, our creature artist. He is absolutely a man of details. I remember at one point he was making a horse model that was very anatomically correct, which didn't make it into the game.
Ooh.
But it was very interesting to see it.
Oh dear God.
Anyway. I'm going to show off a few more of these because I think they look really cool. Let's check out the brown bear. It is a giant brown bear, as you can tell, but it has some extra textures. It looks slightly different. I may have spawned it inside this tree.
Yeah, you spawned him on the tree.
I'm very sorry for. It has like very tufts of fur sticking out. I really like the detail in these guys. And his eyes aren't glowing, unfortunately, but I think he's in very much pain.
Oh no.
So I'm just gonna do that.
He didn't look very
and then replace him with something else. No, that's wrong. Let's see. Brown bear. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. It's a good boy, round boy.
It's a good round boy.
Round boy. Adorable.
Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes. All right, let's see what else. Oh, in terms of balancing, we are rebalancing some of the avatars. Some of that stuff is already on the Testlive build, which you can take a look at right now if you want to. And basically what we're doing is we are increasing the damage on, excuse me, all avatars apart from Jebel Sog, who is getting a nerf. Which is planned for the future. Right now, I think we've only increased the damage on everyone else but Jebel Sog, and then in the future, the plan is to nerf Jebel Sog and basically make him a little bit weaker. And there is an issue right now with Jebel Sog. We're not going to mention the specific details, but we just want to say to everyone out there who has told us about this, because you probably know what I'm talking about and what I'm referring to. We want to take a look at this. It is a code issue, so we basically need a coder to have time enough to look at it, and then it should hopefully get addressed once we have that. Yes, Yogg will no longer be a tickle monster, and you'll hopefully be able to do some real damage with the avatars. And the idea is to have them, be not necessarily maybe the nukes that they once were, but to have them, actually do some
menacing as
real
well.
Good damage.
Yeah.
So, let's see what else we have on this thing. Yes, all right. In the future, this is something that we're working on right now, and not something that's going to come to Testlive immediately, but this is something.
Bad volume.
Really?
Okay.
It's not good. Let's see. Sorry about that. I think it might also be because the microphone is a bit far away.
Yeah.
So I can probably try to scoot up just a little bit. Some things that I'm just going to turn off these. Let's see. There we go. Turn off the contextual controls. All right. So some of the things that we're working on right now, some of the things that Robert is working on right now, actually, is a complete revamp of the entire unnamed city area, which I think is a really cool thing that he's working on.
I agree.
Because right now the unnamed city it's a place you go to for some of the story content. You go there to, spoilers, learn the map room recipe,
right?
And to get iron.
Correct. Yes.
Yes. And maybe fight a dragon or two if you want to, because there are a ton of dragons. But down the line, at least, the plan is to add in 8 named special bosses, which is a lot, but that area is huge. They won't be roaming around. They will be set in their places, and then you can go and fight them. They will have their own loot pools. They will drop legendary weapons, and they will also drop legendary armor pieces, which we're eventually going to be introducing. And these are pieces, not complete sets, and the idea is for them to be piecemeal. So they will look like all the other, they will look like armor pieces that you find and can craft during the game, but they will have special abilities, and they will have special attributes to them that will make them into epic armor pieces. One, for example, might heal poison. one might have increased durability, and one thing might let you see in the dark forever, for example. But the idea is to like take these legendary armor pieces and sort of incorporate them into your regular armor, because if you were to just wear all regular armor pieces, you might look kind of weird and strange.
Put together, weirdly put together.
Yeah, and the intention at least isn't to break the game in terms of like power and numbers, but it's to give, you know, a cool and unique feeling to cool and unique weapons, and then sort of maybe shake up the numbers a little bit, because right now it is a bit of a numbers game in the game, and I noticed that a lot of people, like the meta, if you will, is still sort of dominated by spears, so we should probably take a look at that as well.
We are.
But there are some more weapons coming down the line, and then also, of course, the legendary armor pieces, as already mentioned. Something Rob talked about was something called the Lying Bastard Sword, which it sounds really cool, but I'm not going to spoil what it does. You'll get to see that later. And so yeah, whenever you take down some of these like 8 named bosses in the Unnamed City, they'll have a 30% chance of dropping these armor pieces, but they might also drop, well, they will most likely also drop legendary repair kits, which I know right now is a bit of a hassle to get a hold of. And they will also drop something called a Fragment of Power. And we're not going to tell you what a Fragment of Power is or what it does, but you get to see that later. See?
You will find
See,
out.
I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
You'll find out. So, Bit Fat Josh, no, we will not remove spares from the game. At least that's not a plan that we have right now.
Yes.
Also, we commented on sorcery earlier.
Yes.
We're not actively working on sorcery right now. We've done quite a lot of work on it, as Joel also mentioned before. But right now, our focus is just different. We are not actively working on sorcery. As soon as we have more information or something changes, we will definitely let you know.
Yep.
Also, regarding exploits, as we mentioned as well earlier, we are actively working on those as well. So if you have any exploits and you want to send those scripts or whatever that you mentioned in chat to us, then please do so either through exploit hunters, which we actually do look at, even though some of you guys are kind of confused about that, or talk to Ignacio in the forums and send him a PM with whatever information you have. So we're very happy about getting additional information. Chances are we know all about those exploits already. I'm pretty sure, actually.
Usually.
But you're very welcome to send your information in.
I noticed, I think it was Captain Rakin wondered if everything we mentioned is now on Testlive. Some of the stuff we mentioned earlier is on Testlive. So, like the monster rebalancing, the new creature features, the mini-bosses, for example, the new types of purges, the avatar buffs, all of that stuff is currently on Testlive. The Unnamed City revamp is something that is coming long-term. Like, that is down the line, essentially. At least that's the current plan, to have it down the line. And as part of the revamp, there are also going to be more human NPCs inside. We're going to add some relic hunters to the place. At least that's the plan. And also maybe some more mini bosses or some cool stuff that you'll be able to get to see. So
there is no plans for mounts at this point in time.
Yes, no plans for mounts. Yep.
We've said that.
We've said this a couple of times. We've said it a couple of times.
So
like I think it bears repeating because
it's important. People are still interested in. There's no plans for mounts.
Yes, right. We worked on mounts for several months, trying to make them work, and unfortunately, we weren't able to. Like, that is just how it is. And we have done some tests since then to see if we're able to do something with mounts, to add mounts to the game in some shape or form. But as we mentioned previously, right now the current focus is on critical bugs and issues reported by the community. And we know people were really excited about mounts, so were we. Like, we really wanted mounts to be a part of the game. Yeah. But eventually we had to realize that it wasn't feasible to add mounts. And like, as we're currently sitting, it probably won't make it into it probably won't be added into the game, period. Like, so.
So also, Strider was asking about How about the faster rendering? So that's on Testlive right
Yes, that is on Testlive. The building improvisation, as we so called it, which should help your giant bases pop in much more quicker. And I think we've added a additional like tiny hotfix to Testlive earlier today.
Yes, that's correct.
To sort of smooth that stuff out a little bit more.
Yes, there were some changes today in the little Testlive update that we put out. So there's some more information in the patch notes about that as well. So just iron out some of the kinks there. There's of course like crashes and lag fixes on Testlive as well. And again, I mentioned it on the forums today with the patch notes, and mentioned it like last week on the schedule going forward. We're still aiming on having the Testlive patch going to live sometime next week, hopefully at the start of next week. That's always with a little bit of like, hopefully nothing else breaks, and it's stable enough that we feel like, yeah, we can actually put it to live. Because in the past we have been patching a bit too fast, and we really want to avoid having you guys running into tons of bugs, of course.
Yes.
We don't do that on purpose if it happens, obviously, and we don't want to do it either. So, but we hope that it goes to live next week.
Yep, that is the current plan, at least. Of course, plans can always change, but if they do, we will of course let you know. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
Put out statements on the forums, on social media, all that good stuff.
Yes.
Right. I see a couple of questions about expanding the map and adding more stuff to it.
Yeah.
Because right now the map, map looks like this. And we know a lot of people are asking about this big area right here. And right now, we are not considering adding more areas to the map. We do have some dungeons in the pipeline, which will hopefully be released in
we will talk about
while.
We will definitely
we will talk about them more
those
when we
as
have
soon as
more to talk about. But currently, this is the map of the game. Like, can't stop. Like that is what the map looks like, and that is what we're doing in terms of map size and in terms of map content. Yeah, that is that. Okay, more stuff coming down the line is what we call a dismantling machine or recycling machine.
Actually, that's something very cool. I'm excited about that.
Because it is something
I'm super excited about this. Yes.
Because it is something that people have
you
also
guys
been asking about.
Yes.
Basically, it's a place where you can put weapons, armor, building pieces, placeables, all that kind of stuff, and you'll get all the crafting material back.
Yes.
So, for example, maybe you've recently upgraded from a iron sword to a hardened steel sword. You don't need the iron sword anymore. Put it in the recycling machine. You get all the stuff back, and you can use it for making building pieces or making something else.
Or you have like a shit ton of iron swords, and you've outgrown them like ages ago, and you still get them anyway. Or like you help maybe a low-level friend or whatever, and then you can just put them in a machine and get some resources out of it and make something that's actually helpful for you.
I'm also noticing in chat people talking about the exploits. We mentioned these earlier, and we are working on fixing some of these exploits, especially the ones that have been posted to various channels. We are aware of these, and they are being worked on. Like, it is, as always, a coder issue. But yes, things are being worked on. We are aware of these exploits, and we are working on fixing them because we want people to be able to play on an even footing. We don't want players to cheat, basically, and so we are working on fixes.
Going green. Make a level called Going Green that levels up as you recycle. That's actually a cool idea.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Don't litter, people.
Yes.
Yeah, don't like throw your swords and stuff on the ground. Now we have a reason to recycle. See, we're going with the times.
Yes. Another thing. So we're going to talk about role-playing a bit, because we have a lot of role-players playing the game.
Very loyal part of the community as well.
Yes.
Very
shout out to the role-players. Shout out.
Shout out to everyone. PvPers, PvE, explorers, role-players, everyone. We love.
You just want everyone to feel like they're included.
They are though, but they are. It's important. Like every part of our community.
So we sort of announced. Well, we announced this last week. I think.
I think so. Yeah, it was last week.
But I wanted to touch on it here as well, because maybe not everyone had heard about it. So another piece of feedback that comes up a lot is that our VoIP or voice over internet protocol isn't really working as good as it should. And thanks to you guys, and thank you to your feedback and your upvotes on the Trello board.
Exactly, yeah, because that gives us a really good like conversation tool, or like putting a little bit of pressure as well. And like, look, it's like quite a lot of people have voted on this.
Yes.
So we really, you know, make it happen.
Absolutely. And so we have been able to show that like this needs to be prioritized, and it is now being worked on to improve the voiceover IP. And essentially what we're doing is we are taking the current system and we are replacing it with something that is a lot better, we hope, at least.
Yeah, I really do think so. I really think so. I mean, you guys can actually test it out very soon on Testlive as soon as we deploy to Testlive. So again, if you're someone that makes a lot of use of the voiceover IP in the game, that you should definitely test it out and let us know what you think about it.
Yes. I forgot what the name of the service is, but basically what we're doing is we're VOX, thank you. We're switching from a peer-to-peer system to VVox, which essentially, like, whenever you speak in game,
to server,
the sound of your voice gets sent to the VVox server, which then sends it out to people who are nearby you, which should improve the stability of VoIP. It should improve quality of VoIP, and it should also allow us to add I'm not sure what it's called in English, but basically if someone to your right is speaking, you will hear it in the right channel.
Yeah, it's positional
audio. Thank you. Yeah, like that is the idea, at least. And we hope a lot of people who love RPing are going to help test us out. And did we want to mention this other thing connected to VoIP as well?
Oh, nah, I think we should wait with that.
Okay, we should probably wait.
There might be some more exciting news regarding voiceover.
Yes, we hope at least that we'll be able to add something that should make
it's even more fun for our roleplay community.
Yes.
But anyway, we'll talk about that as soon as we have more information.
Add more immersion and more realism, as you call it. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm at the end of my.
Let me check. Let me see if we have some more questions.
We probably have a lot of questions.
Someone was again about what about endgame and level 60 players. So they probably came in a little bit later, after we explained about the undead city. I call it the undead city for some reason.
Unnamed city.
Unnamed city, yeah. The unnamed city that will have lots of interesting bosses for like the high level players, including different type of armor, like specific legendary armor pieces and things like that. So there is definitely also content for high end coming for end game, so to say. There we go.
I may have done some. The mod should be working as intended. The mod bot. Yes, we are teasing you 100%, and I know that a lot of the RPers in chat now are just going, "No, tell us."
Yes.
No,
once we can't.
We can't. Like it is. It's not confirmed yet that it's actually going to make it in, but we're really trying. We're really hoping.
There are no plans for mounts right now. There's
Unfortunately,
some more people asking on YouTube. Yes, there are no mounts planned for now.
Yes, Bontakun, the sound cues when browsing the inventory is still in the game. You still get these doom doom sounds.
Seeing clan members on the map?
Yes. That is the thing. I wish I had some clan members here.
Yeah, that is on Testlive right now.
That is on Testlive. So if I had
right now.
If I had a clan member who was running around here, I would see their player icon and it would be moving. So that is the thing. Also, another thing that we have added to the Testlive version, which is going to make it into the live version very soon, is this button right here, which says Add Biography. And basically, it allows you to write a biography. I'm sorry for the clicking on the microphone. It allows you to write a biography for your character. And you can also turn it off so that people can walk up to you and basically see your biography, or you can have it shown to everyone if you want to. Basically, it's another step for role players and something that we wanted people to have.
We've tell also people about your character.
Yeah, we've also added in notes that you can write on, which I know a lot of role players were really looking forward to. And right now it's only the ones that you place on the ground or on tables and stuff. But that is the idea, so you can leave notes for people, and basically you can write whatever you want.
Love letters for Valentine's Day,
for example, or maybe if you're threatening someone to attack them, or asking someone to stay the hell away from you, who knows.
Any news on DLC? We will let you know. as soon as we have more news on that.
Once we have more news on a lot of things, we will absolutely, you know.
There is more news coming, but we have to like finalize things, and so we don't want to talk about stuff too early.
Sure, because that has bit us in the butt previously, talking about things too early.
Yes.
And I hope we haven't talked about things too early in the stream either, because that would be not good. But yeah. I mean, you might threaten someone on
PvP stuff and
Valentine's Day.
stop favoriting the PvP side of the game. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
When we put in PvP stuff, then the PvE crowd is like, you hate us. If you put in PvE things, then the PvE crowd is like, you hate us. So we're trying to focus on everything. I feel the gold balance, for example, that's definitely PvP.
Sure,
you know, that's
absolutely,
PvP stuff. Yeah. And the revamping of the siege system is also specifically for PvP. So yeah, it's not that we're just putting in things.
rebalancing monster, for example, rebalancing the unnamed city, all that stuff is focused PvE. That is for PvE players, or for players who play single player, for example, like if they want to, you know, do that kind of stuff. So we always try to like have this like holistic view of everything, but I think like from a personal standpoint at least, like there will always be someone who doesn't like the changes you do, and that's unfortunate, but that is how it is. But we try to make the game, you know, we try to do things that we think a lot of people will be satisfied with, and as many people will be satisfied with. So it's so like it's but it's a balancing act, because we have to think about players who play single player, we have to think about players who play PvP, we have to think about players who
like
play
PvE
single player,
or just
role players, or explorers,
type.
builders, all that kind of stuff. So it is a balancing act, and we're trying to, but it's with your help that we're able to like make that balancing act work.
Andrea, we hate everyone equally. Someone just said in chat. It's not true. We love everyone equally. I
just had this like flash forward to like 6 months from now, where someone has taken that clip out of context from Twitch, and just like, you said you hate everyone equally.
That's probably gonna happen. So someone again asked about mounts. We have absolutely no plans for mounts right now. There's nothing in the works for mounts. And it's not in the plans either. Also, someone else was asking about changing your hair after character creation. So this is something that we're very aware that people would like. We also know that I think there's a mod out there that actually does that.
Yes, there should be, as far as
so it's absolutely in the back of our heads, and it's being discussed. So, but again, on that, we are aware of it, we are discussing it, but there's nothing at this point that we can tell you concrete if and when it's happening. But we are aware, we know, and it's something cool to have, and I feel also it's important to have.
All right, yeah. Someone says that PP mod does that, for example, and PP mod is a great mod, in my opinion.
Yeah, PP is fantastic.
All right. Anything else?
Hair stuff. Yeah, basically, it wouldn't be just hair. It would be like, you know, changing the appearance of your character after character creation, of course. Yes. I think. Yeah, sorry, mounts are really not in the works or in our plans right now. We've said that before as well. I mean, people bring it up. I do understand that people like mounts, but there's just a lot of things that don't really make sense for Conan Exiles and mounts, and so right now there's no plans.
And I'm not gonna stir that pot even more. But yeah, like we know it is something that people were excited about. Like we were very excited about it. We wanted to do it. Like we were working very hard on trying to make it happen. But unfortunately it wasn't feasible. It wasn't something that we were able to add to the game. And we like, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, like I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I really don't like telling people that something's not going to happen, but like as it stands right now, mounts aren't going to happen. Like period.
I need more samurai armor. Everyone needs more samurai armor.
Samurai armor?
Samurai armor is fantastic.
Yeah.
Love it. Stir my pot, Jens.
Bo diddles. That's it's inappropriate, but we can take it. Let's take it. Let's talk after the stream. Let's do it. Yeah.
What is Joel up to these days?
Joel is up to something secret.
Crossfitting.
Crossfitting, yeah.
Just doing CrossFit.
Yeah, Joel is up to a lot of things. We can't really talk about what Joel is up to right now, but it's something. It is something. All right.
Make level cap increase. Can you make heavy armor great again? Okay. Make heavy armor great again.
I think we nerfed heavy armor.
Make heavy armor great again. Yeah, because everyone was complaining about it. It was too strong.
So yeah. Also, I saw I saw it mentioned that we should make the level cap a lot higher. I don't think that is going to happen, but we have discussed maybe giving out more feat points to players, as far as I know. I think so. Maybe.
Wait, sorry, I was actually reading chat. Sorry.
I noticed. More feat points after you hit level 60.
Yeah, I mean that was in discussion. I'm actually not sure where that is right now, but again, it's not like we don't think about, you know, adding more stuff and having more things to do for players that are already maxed out, at least level wise. So there's lots in discussion.
Okay, let's see.
CrossFit coming to Conan Exiles confirmed. I'm not sure that these guys like our Conan characters, at least not the dude that's on screen right now. I don't think he needs CrossFit. He looks very...
He is very buff already.
He looks like he can like lift an elephant.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Joel's CrossFit training is going to be a thing, but hey, it would have been something.
All right.
I was also asked specifically, I noticed in Twitch chat, like which bugs and glitches we're fixing. I mean, if you go to our Trello board, I can actually, you know what, I'm going to look this up. I'm going to find our Trello board. And let's, there we go.
Ibon Viper likes the new animations for jumps and landings. Thank you. I actually agree with you. There were a few people who really didn't like it. I think maybe it was just a change, but again, it's kind of a matter of taste as well. I personally really like it as well. So, and I'm very sure that
our animator Manos,
very happy.
Our animator Manos, shout out to Manos.
Yeah.
He did a really good job on them, and I think I think it looks better than the whole like the hanging sort of crane kick thing that we used to do.
Yeah, we'll definitely make sure he knows that.
I'm sending out a link in all the chats, hopefully, to a Trello board, which is a board that we are keeping updated with some, not all, of the
most important that came up.
Bugs and issues and things that we are currently working on.
Most important is probably wrong, but the one that gets brought up the most by the community.
The most critical.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And the idea is for that to be... that board is going to be updated incrementally as we roll out new fixes, as we know more about new things that we need to fix and take care of, and then it's a handy tool for you, the community, to know what we're currently working on. So if you're still if whenever you wonder like, hey, what's the Conan Exiles team working on, just go to that Trello board, bookmark it, and then you will
Jens the Destroyer and Jens the Breaker of Keyboards.
I'm a very clumsy, large individual, unfortunately.
He's a heartbreaker too.
Sometimes happens.
Heartbreaker.
And shout out to Snickers Bomb, Big Fat Josh, and the Carcass, who have all posted the same message in the Twitch chat.
Fantastic.
But yeah, I mean, Rob is probably looking at it, so we shall see if he's able to do something about this. But
any upcoming community contests?
Maybe. Maybe. And
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
For breaking people's hearts about the mounts as well, but I apparently break a lot of things.
Have you mentioned the release date of the Testlive patch, like a specific date? No, I mentioned that we're aiming for next week, early next week, hopefully. That's the plan. That's the current plan, like we communicated as well. So that still stands.
Angel Grey, if you're a Secret World Legends player, we have a community contest running right now in Secret World Legends. The Valentine's Day
contest?
Thing. Yes.
And then we have more stuff planned.
All right.
Yes.
What else? Let's see if we have a couple more questions.
When will you make Anarchy Online 2?
I don't know when I will make Anarchy Online 2. Probably never, because I don't make games. But like Anarchy Online has stood the test of time. It is. It is, according to a lot of people, the best game we ever made.
Why would you change something that's already
exactly? Why would you? Yes. Why would you try to improve
on something that's
why would you try to make a sequel to perfection? Is my question. And yeah, I'm sorry, but we get asked this a ton. Like right now, we're not planning on making an Anarchy Online 2. We know a lot of people would like us to make an Anarchy Online 2, but
Alright.
I'm gonna.
Who in chat remembers the roller rat screech from Anarchy Online? That still gives me nightmares. That thing every
Is that
time.
From Anarchy Online?
Yeah, of course,
okay.
the roller rat. Oh, yeah, have you played? You're too young.
I've never played it. I'm a baby.
You're a youngster, man.
Actually, okay, so
roller rat screech.
This is very off topic for a Conan Exiles stream.
And deletes.
But Marius, the new guy in the tech team, I went to school with him, and when we went to school together, the one game he would talk about almost constantly was Anarchy Online.
See, that stuff gaming brings people together.
Yes.
Also, we had a fantastic visit of two Conan Exiles Secret World Legends players earlier this week, and they actually met through Secret World Legends.
Yep.
I think that's so great. Matchmaker.
Mafia Zero, you don't give the impression that you are interested in issues of Conan Exiles. Well, I don't know if you've seen the patches that we're putting out on Testlive, because there's a lot of stuff and fixes there for things that people have told us about. And I know I'm being a bit crabby, and I know you pushed my buttons a little bit there, but
what just happened? I missed that.
Basically, he's saying we don't care about the game.
What?
And we do.
I mean, no, it's just we do. I mean,
okay, so fixes take time. We have to figure out why something is happening and how it is happening and all that kind of stuff, and then someone has to
I mean,
rewrite code or
it's
something.
our baby and we want it to be as good as it can, so of course we do care about the game. I mean, it would be kind of bad if you wouldn't care about the game, and it wouldn't help anyone really, including us.
Yes.
So
Eben Viper asks if there are plans for aquatic combat. I think if you use the javelin, you can stab people underwater, because that is one of the few weapons that works underwater. But you should be careful, because you can run out of stamina fairly quickly.
Peter isn't Testlive for console. Yeah, that's unfortunately always very tricky. It's really tricky to do because of how patching works on consoles, and because you have to go through certification for every little patch. Yep. So it's actually very inconvenient to have a test server on console, because you couldn't react fast enough to do lots of testing and a lot of patches, and it's really difficult and hard to do.
Yes.
I know a few games have it, but most games don't have console test servers. So it's not that we don't like the console community. Believe me, that's not the case. It's just it's really technically complicated and a little bit annoying too.
It's the same for mod support on consoles as well. Like, it is something that we talked about early in development. Like, maybe we should have it, but in the end, it just wasn't technically feasible to add mod support on consoles. And like, we know that I think Fallout has it, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
she's looking at chat now.
No, I did listen to you. I was actually seeing a question that I was like, Rob, have you seen that question in chat about? I'm trying not to comment on it actually right now to not give anything away.
Okay, never mind. You may have seen it. I don't know. All right. What was I saying? I forget what I was
that would be really cool. Yeah, that would be really cool.
I'm gonna try to.
It's okay.
You keep
let's
talking.
go. Yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah, that that thing. Right. Yes, that would be really cool.
Farming Simulator also has mod support on consoles. Okay, that could be. I actually don't know that. Okay.
And if in ideal world where we had unlimited time, unlimited resources, unlimited coders, all that kind of stuff, like this,
we would do all the things.
We would do everything we could. And we still
do everything
we don't live in that world where we don't anyway, but the work hasn't stopped. Absolutely not. Like, we released, I think it was 2 patches during 3 patches during January, wasn't it? 2 or 3 patches,
hot fixes. Yes. Yeah.
And then of course also we have released 2 Testlive patches during like January and February, and stuff from Testlive is being moved over to live hopefully early next week. At least that's the plan. And then so like things are still happening, things are still being worked on. Like, we see this a lot because we are community people. We are where you guys are. We are on the forums, we're on Reddit, we're on social media, we're on Facebook, where people say that, oh, the game is dead, the developers have abandoned it. We have absolutely not abandoned Conan Exiles.
I mean, the thing is, like, the past few hotfixes for live were to address those really annoying issues with servers getting unresponsive after you play for a while, and then until the server was restarted, it was just it wasn't unresponsive. You couldn't attack NPCs, you couldn't attack other players, you couldn't mine, you couldn't gather anything. We know it was so frustrating, and thank you so much for your patience with that. Really, I mean that. And also thank you so much for all the reports that we got on that, because it was actually several issues that we had to address. It wasn't just one thing. It was kind of like one part was exploit, another one was actually something on the game code side. So I think with the patch that went out yesterday, we finally nipped that one in the butt.
Parts of it, at least.
We didn't. Oh yeah, parts of it. We didn't actually hear any like ruckus about it on the forums anymore, so that's always a good sign. I mean, but let us know if it's better. It
is kind of great though when the one thread where like everyone is talking about this issue just goes dead.
That's always a good sign. Yeah, that's always a good sign.
All right, we may have this in the bag now.
Yeah, the one thread that we were monitoring very closely every day, like.
Yes.
New information, so dead. No one posted in there, so we take that as a good sign.
Yes.
So again, thank you so much for your patience in that regard, and also for all your reports. Like in general, for like creative feedback. I was gonna say constructive feedback.
Creative feedback.
Creative feedback is good too. For the constructive feedback, we really do appreciate it, and it helps specifically our development team as well.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Okay, we are at an hour-ish now, I think. Yes, we've been live for about an hour. So we're going to end it there. And let's see. Okay, so as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, we are now streaming every single week. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but it's kind of fun too.
4 days.
4 days. 4 days per week. So on Tuesday, it's going to be Nicole's Bob Ross painting stream with people from the Durham office.
Bob Ross meets developers.
On Wednesdays, it's going to be the Durham office playing either Anarchy Online, Age of Conan, or Secret World Legends. I know they did a split Age of Conan and Secret World Legends stream yesterday, which was really, really good. You can see that on Twitch, for example, twitch.tv/Funcom. And Thursdays is going to be like Oslo office days, which means that we will be streaming Conan Exiles, but we will also be streaming Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden, and Conan Unconquered once that gets off the ground in terms of streaming. So there will still be Conan Exiles content. It might not be as often as it was before Christmas, but it's because we sort of want to try to change things up a little bit as well, and sort of focus on new things, focus on new cool things. But then as we have new cool things to talk about and to show in Conan Exiles, of course we'll be streaming Conan Exiles. And then Fridays is going to be just a fun time variety stream where we might play old
Funcom streams, like a nostalgia type approach, or we might play games with you guys. We might try out games with another developer as an exchange, so they might play our games, we might try their games, and just to mix it up a little bit. But if you have, of course, input on our streaming in general, so feel free to bring it up on the forums as well. So of course we want to make content that you guys enjoy and that you like, so we're very open for feedback on that as well.
That is that, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
And thank you so much to Nicole for modding the Twitch
When is the next patch for Conan Exiles dropping? So again,
hopefully early next week.
We are aiming early next week to have the current Testlive changes, which is huge. So check out the Testlive forums for the patch notes, different ones. Come to live early next week. Hopefully, that's what we're planning to. Still, if something changes, we will update you on the forums. Keep an eye on our news and announcement section.
Absolutely.
So we will let you know as soon as we know more.
I'm gonna do a quick thing on Twitch, just check stuff out, because we got a lot of viewers. I think
there won't be mounts. There is no plans for mounts.
No,
let's just say that again. Yes, we should post someone.
I think we should do that.
Yes, Khaleesi TV. Oh, I like her banners. These are cute. How adorable are those?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes.
Speaking of role-playing.
All right, so let's say goodbye before we host.
Nicole says she has someone to raid. So, go ahead, Nicole. Just hit the thing and the thing.
So, to you guys,
thank you so much for joining us on stream.
Thank you so much.
And we hope you had a good Thursday. We hope you have a lovely rest of your week. And
thank you so much
if Nicole do the thing, and then we'll be off, I guess. We're not giving away any DLC codes today, unfortunately, but maybe next time.
Definitely next time. Yes. So
all right. It is raid time. So we're gonna say bye, and then you're gonna be put into another person's channel. So see ya.
Thank you guys. Bye.